Good morning, everybody. It is Ethan here, and I'm by myself today. Well, not exactly. This is definitely going to be a pretty crowded hike based on the number of cars at the trailhead, but I have just left the Plata Gulch Trailhead outside of Twin Lakes, Colorado. A very small town. It's about halfway in between Leadville and Buena Vista. And of course, if I'm at the La Plata Gulch Trailhead, it means I'm hiking La Plata Peak, the 5th tallest 14er in the state of Colorado. And from what I've seen, a very beautiful hike. So I'm going to be taking the standard route today, which is going to be the Northwest Ridge. It is about 9.5 miles round trip and going to be about 4,500 feet of total elevation gain. Looks like a really awesome, really beautiful hike, and can't wait to check it out. And I've heard it's pretty tough, but given that I'm coming off of doing Cresto Needle, I think it might be, sounds like it'll be a little bit easier going than that. So I'm definitely excited about doing this one today. It is a cold morning. It is the last weekend in August, and it's about 38 degrees right now. Supposed to be a high of about 48 on the summit today. And it rained quite a bit yesterday in the lower elevations, and it looks like up above 13,000 feet there was a little dusting of snow. So I don't know if La Plata specifically got any snow, but we'll see. There might be a little bit of snow and ice to contend with up high, and if that's the case, I did bring micro spikes, but can't wait. Should be a really beautiful hike, and I'm excited to show you guys. Well, I'm about a half a mile in, and thus far the trail has been flat. Every time you go up a little bit, you immediately go back down. So this definitely isn't feeling like a 14er quite yet, but I'm sure that's right around the corner. After all, you do have to gain 4,500 feet of elevation in a relatively short distance. But for now, I'm okay with the easy hiking. Well, I was wondering when it would happen. The trail has gotten very, very steep, but the good news is when the trail gets steep, you usually get rewarded with some nice views. It's definitely very wet out here this morning, but it's not so wet that the trail is like super muddy. The trail's actually, the conditions are really nice right now. But this area definitely needed the moisture. I mean, all of Colorado does, but this area in particular. This is not too far away. It's only about 30, 40. Well, it's more than that. It's probably like 60 miles away from the Grizzly Creek fire, but they have luckily been making significant progress on that. So hopefully we won't have to deal with smoky views today. I mean, it's looking really clear right now, so that is great. Hiking through this beautiful little meadow, and thankfully the trail has given me a little bit of reprieve. It was very steep for quite a while, but it's flattened out for the time being. I'm sure that won't last long though. But I'm just moving on ahead, working my way up to the tree line. The views are beautiful up here. Turned out to be a nice morning so far, and there's where I'm headed. It's very steep. It basically, from what I can see here, it looks like it just kind of does some small switchbacks up this slope. So it's gonna be steep. I'm hiking up towards the ridge. It's pretty steep. Been on this slope here for a while, coming from down in that direction. But man, this is beautiful up here. Really good views. It's a clear day, no smoke, which is so nice. And lots of these cool rock formations on the side of the mountain here that have been really fun to hike through. And it is warming up a bit, which is nice. We'll see if it gets super windy when we get up on the ridge. Alright, I just climbed up onto the ridge. You can see the remaining route up to the summit. It's been tough, but it's about to get even tougher. And then one thing I'd like to point out, this over here is the Ellingwood Ridge. It's a class 3 route to the summit, and man, that looks crazy. I'd love to check that out someday. See back down towards where I came from. A lot of people coming up right now. And it's starting to get a little breezy up here. Okay, so I'm getting up here. That is the summit right there. That's not a false summit, but you can't see the whole route to the summit from here. It's not just straight up the ridge. Basically, I'm gonna kind of go up this, and then I think right about at that point right there, I'm gonna cut to the right and go on the back side of the ridge, and then there's gonna be some switchbacks and all kinds of shit to get the rest of the way up to the summit. And as you can see, actually, La Plata did get a light dusting of snow. I mean, all of these snow fields right here are, I'm sure they were already there, but you can kind of see on the slopes right there, there's a very little thin amount of fresh snow. So La Plata did get a little dusting of snow last night, which is pretty crazy. And it is absolutely beautiful. The views of Ellingwood Ridge, I mean, that is just crazy looking. Ellingwood Ridge looks like a fun time. I mean, I would have had to start at like probably 3 a.m. to even attempt to do Ellingwood Ridge, but I mean, I've heard reports that it takes people an average of like 12 hours, like 10 to 12 hours. But yeah, it's cool to look at from the standard route. And of course, the views all around are amazing. So I'm gonna keep heading up, and I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. All right, I'm getting close. The summit is just past that. I'm at about 14.1, so I got about 230 feet of elevation gain left. There are some clouds rolling in, but it's still looking good for now, so. All right, I am on the summit of La Plata Peak at 14,336 feet, the 5th tallest in Colorado. And the views are beautiful. Got a little bit of a cloud inversion down there behind those peaks, which is really cool. This is the Ellingwood Ridge, which, man, that looks so fun. I would love to do that. You can see over there, Mount Elbert, the tallest in Colorado. Mount Massive, the 2nd tallest in Colorado. Twin Lakes down there. You can see over there to the Mosquitoes and the 10-mile range. Huron Peak over there. And the Collegiate Peaks. Beautiful. It is getting a little cloudy, so I'm not going to spend too much time up here, but what an incredible summit. Really beautiful hike. Okay, I am heading off of the summit of La Plata after spending quite a bit of time up there, and I just couldn't help it. It is beautiful. Very cold today, but beautiful. But I'm sure once I start hiking again, I'll warm up pretty quickly. All right, I'm getting back down towards the bottom of the ridge. You can see the summit up there and some not so nice looking clouds right there. So, trying to make good time getting down, hopefully avoid getting caught above tree line in a thunderstorm. But it is about 11 o'clock right now, and they were calling for, I think they said, an 18% chance of thunderstorms starting at noon. So the chances are like pretty low right now, but definitely within the next hour or two, it is a possibility. So which is crazy because there's still quite a few people making their way up to the summit right now. I mean, honestly, if I was at this point in the hike and I saw that, I'd be turning around. But that's just me. Whoa, right as I start recording, I almost slip and fall on some rocks. So I am off the ridge. You can see that hiker up there and the summit way up there. So I'll tell you, it's a lot longer from here than it looks. With all the switchbacking you got to do on the other side of the ridge, it's definitely a lot longer than it looks. But I am back down to about 12.6 now, and just be hiking on this slope, working my way back down into the trees. It's still pretty rocky up here, but won't be having to deal with that for too much longer. And yeah, this is really beautiful. This is a beautiful hike. I wanted to do La Plata last summer actually, and I just never got around to doing it. And so this summer, you know, I also wanted to do it this summer, but I kept, you know, waiting for a good time to do it. And this weekend ended up working out perfectly for that. So I'm glad I finally got it done. I don't know why, but I always had this thing about where it's like, I really wanted to do La Plata, but I kept putting it off. So I'm glad I got it done. It's a beautiful hike here in the Salwatch Range. All right, heading back down into the trees through these steep switchbacks. You can see some other hikers coming down, and where I came from, very cloudy, and the wind's definitely picking up. I mean, I am 100% convinced that there's going to be a thunderstorm over the peak in less than an hour. So now that I'm getting back below the tree line, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. But I'll tell you, I don't know what some of these people are thinking. I mean, there are people that are still going up from where I'm at right now. And I mean, that's just crazy. You can clearly see, I mean, all the signs of a thunderstorm rolling in are here. I mean, the way the clouds look, the wind picking up, I mean, just everything about this day is screaming, get off of the mountain, there's a thunderstorm coming. So I don't know how some people are still justifying it in their heads that they're going to go up to the summit, but you know, hopefully they make it down okay. That's all you really can say. But anyway, getting back below the trees, once I get down this hill, things will get mellow out for a little while at least. All right, well, I am well below the tree line now. Didn't get caught in a thunderstorm, so call that a success. And it looks like I got just about a mile to get back to the trailhead from here. And all the really steep rocky stuff is done. From here it's just going to be mostly, you know, flat and some ups and downs and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. And I'll tell you, even this forest that you hike through before breaking tree line is really cool. It's a really lush looking forest for Colorado. That water's got a weird color to it, huh? Like a mining accident? I don't know. Definitely seems like, I think it's iron that makes the rocks in the water look like that. So apparently this creek has very high levels of iron in it. Probably not good to drink out of. Makes it look interesting though, I will say that. Alright, I made it back to the trailhead for La Plata Gulch. And man, it's a beautiful hike. Really incredible. So from here, just got about a quarter mile of easy hiking on this dirt road to get back to where I parked my car. And then that'll be it. I actually did feel some raindrops when I was going down through the trees, but that has since stopped. But I would still say there's a pretty significant risk of thunderstorms. It's very cloudy, especially off in the direction of La Plata. So like I said, I do hope all those people that were still heading up can make it back down safe. But anyway guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I finally got to do La Plata. It's another 14er in the books. That makes 12 for this summer alone and 24 total. So I'm racking them up, feels good. But if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. And keep a lookout, because I'll be posting a lot more awesome content. There's still a tiny bit of summer left, hopefully, so hopefully I can squeeze in a couple more 14ers at least before it starts becoming winter conditions up here. And anyway, I'll see you guys on the next adventure. Have a good one.